origins of Lake Geneva Garden Club date back to 1887 with the beginning of Holiday Home Camp. The prominent summer residents of Lake Geneva took it upon themselves to support this camp. Their earliest fundraising effort was the Midsummer Fair, held at the Leiter Estate in 1904. It was a huge success, as was the Midsummer Fair of 1905, located at what is now Lorimore. Concerned about relying on good weather for these events, it was decided to build Horticultural Hall in 1911, spearheaded by Francis K. Hutchinson. It is a tribute to our founders that both the camp and Horticultural Hall not only survive, but thrive.
My name is Grace Hanning, and I've been a member of the Garden Club for about 20 years. And I think probably one of the most significant reasons for why I continue to belong is the friends. I grew up around here. When my family moved here when I was a teenager, and we lived on the lake even before that, part-time. So I've always had a really special relationship with people in the area and with the lake itself. We have so many marvelous women that are part of this organization. We have a community here who are always here to support us in anything that we need to do together or as individuals.
I joined the club in 2000, and I was very honored to be asked to join.
I remember many things. As a young child, summers were spent in Horticultural Hall on this green grass. Style shows up and down the aisle here. All of us had to help with every single section we involved in at growing up, which was most interesting.
We did a lot of painting the furniture in Horticultural.
But ladies, after we all grew up and got old, we began to encourage others to be the best garden club members on earth.
Well, I'd say it's inspired me from more than just being creative and loving the natural world, but protecting beautiful spaces all around us, including just this beautiful, simple as the Horticultural Hall might seem to some people. There's a lot that goes into all of that, and I'd say these women here, as well as all the women involved in the Garden Club, have really brought that kind of nature and nurture to our lives, so always thankful.
The flower shows in the past are always remembered by judges coming from the Midwest to judge the flower shows here, and that's been so historically significant here too. They've enjoyed coming.
My parents were very well schooled in running estates and trying to make estates beautiful. And my mother inherited this, and I think must have passed it on to me because she was always interested in flowers. And when I joined the Garden Club, I didn't know that I would be so interested in flowers at the age I did. And so I thought more in terms of what other kind of activities in the Garden Club one could do. And this was the award for that effort.
Hi, I'm Jo File. This is Betsy. I took her on as a challenge in 2010 for the Garden Club of America Flower Show. With time and encouragement from experienced members, she developed into a lovely lady who took first place and the best of show, which was a thrill for me. The Garden Club to me means camaraderie, time and effort that we all take in flower arranging and special projects. It means friendship and care, and I am happy to be a member.
Before I knew it, I was part of the Garden Club. And before I knew that, I was involved. I have to say, it's been very rewarding. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
I remember our first flower show was here at Horticultural Hall. That was our first time. It was our very first arrangement that we put together. And we looked at all the information and then kind of did what we the best we could, right?
Right.
And what happened?
And we just decided we would go with a French theme, and kind of between the two of us collaborated and got our ideas going, and had a lot of fun. I mean,
It was a lot of fun. And to our astonishment, we won the Novice Award.
It was my first experience that summer as a new member, and what I loved was all the members were there. Women who were 70 and 75 were there. The newest members that year was Sue Larkin and I. I was just so impressed with the opportunity to meet and work with these women. And then as the summer wore on and we finished the flower show, we continued to have meetings. And I think I've mentioned they were usually held in homes, and they were teas. And so we had two women at either end of the table pouring. It was a particular honor if you, as a young member, were asked to pour. We weren't wearing slacks or slack suits. We wore dresses, and we had a good time. It was fun in that day and age.
I am Shirley Ryan, and my family and I bought our family home, house in the woods, in 1972 for our families to be able to come and enjoy Lake Geneva, and therefore for 44 years we have held family reunions there. The house in the woods is a magnificent historical house from 1906. The Garden Club of Lake Geneva has held house tours there since we've been there in 1979, 1993, and 2003. As soon as we were committed, I was invited and thrilled to be in the Garden Club of Lake Geneva. And I was welcomed with open arms.
The reason we are all here is this lovely lady, our Grandma Bernie.
She was our inspiration. I think we remember going to cut flowers with her at home, and she was very active in the Lake Geneva Garden Club and was a president of the Lake Geneva Garden Club too. So she's been our inspiration with flower design and gardening.
I'm Jody Pringle, and my grandmother was a member of the Garden Club when I was a little girl, and I used to go with her down to the Horticultural Hall, and we would get the vegetables and see all the beautiful flowers that the caretakers for the estates would have each week down there. But that was my first memory of the Garden Club. But then when my daughter-in-law Tammy, she joined also. And what a membership it's been for both of us. It's been so fun.
It's been such an amazing thing to do together.
It really
is. What a joy to be able to be a member of a club with your mother-in-law. It's such a historic club in this historic community. Our family's been part of Lake Geneva for a long time, since the 1880s. They've been up here, and your grandmother was also really involved with Holiday Home.
Yes, she was. And she was a friend of Jane Addams, who was also very interested in Holiday Home and bringing the children up from Chicago. So I'd heard about that almost all my life. And we would go over to Holiday Home and just see the children that were there, and it was such a joy to be part of it.
So it's such a cool thing for that to be continued, that perpetual interest from the Garden Club, and Holiday Home has really, really been amazing. It's such an awesome thing. It's just a joy to do together.
It really is.
My name is Sue Larkin. I've been a member since 1966, almost a century. Kind of scary, but nothing scary about the Garden Club. I consider the club a garden of friendships. And I once read that the earth laughs with flowers. So we do a lot of laughing here, we do a lot of learning, and we do a lot of giving, which is our way of showing that we believe in a future, and I wish the Garden Club another century of happiness.
I became an active member in Garden Club after college and a lot of work and so forth, but I feel like I've been involved in Garden Club from the very time I can remember. My grandmother and mother Garden Club was a big part of their life, and it was participating in not only a knowledge of the local flowers and weeds, as some people call them, unwanted flower, but it was being involved in the community. And I can remember being over at a place like Hort Hall, and we were cleaning and scrubbing and getting ready for a show or planting something, but it was a lot of fun. I was just a little kid. And then after a while, I think I really appreciated what an wonderful place Garden Club is for Lake Geneva, or for any town or village or whatever. I mean, it's just a super way to be in touch with what's going on in your community and how you can help to beautify it. It's a lot of fun.
Betty Ann Kiefer, and I've been in the Garden Club since 1986. I always heard a lot about the Garden Club from my mother-in-law, who was a very strong member, and I always aspired to get some of her knowledge and see if I could ever do it, but I'm still working on that. I'm so happy to have my two daughters. Mary Ann was president. Martha is our current president, and they do such a wonderful job. They have done such a wonderful job that I'm so proud to say I have two wonderful Lake Geneva Garden Club presidents for my daughters.
When I joined, I was by far the youngest member, and it was wonderful. I love mixing the generations, and you learn so much and enjoy so much. It's wonderful.
I would say my most wonderful experience has been the people. There are so many talented, amazing, strong women in this group that you don't even really know until you start to have projects with them, or work on a flower show with them, or do some fundraising issues with them, or work on them as a board member. And the depth of creativity and talent in this group is truly incredible.
Joy Raisin, and I joined the Garden Club in 1983, and one thing led to another, and I have become an avid gardener. I love the horticulture aspect of it. I also love the flower arranging aspect of it.
I'm Lael Vandenberg, and I've been a member for 38 years now. I can remember when I joined, I was so terrified of flower arranging, and Janice Notes had proposed to me, and you know she's a wonderful arranger. And through her guidance, and she and Sally Baker over the years, I really have become not a bad flower arranger. I'm not perfect by any means, but I can hang in there with the girls. So I've been always, I think one of the nicest things about Garden Club for me is that I can arrange flowers.
I'm Toni Harkness, and I have really fond memories of the Lake Geneva Garden Club, especially all the friends and all that we share in our love of gardening and the many good things we get to support in the community.
I served on zone committees and then served as a director. And you might think, well, that's nice for you, and you went to New York or you had responsibilities, but there's a real benefit to this. As a director, your responsibilities are for the zone committee chairs, and then along with the zone chairman, you visit all the clubs. And you pass on ideas that you've heard from other clubs, they share them with you. Now that's the point I want to make. That's the benefit of having some of our members take on responsibilities at the zone and national level.
And they still talk about it. In New York, it's like a big deal. I don't know of any other club or zone that's talked about. It's really Lake Geneva because of our boats and our uniqueness of our club and our hospitality.
Right.
I just wanted to share something with, especially for the new members. My time as president, it was the proudest thing I've ever done in my life, and I loved it. And I wish you all the same joy that I've had in being part of this group.
That's my speech.